Welcome to GC Cars. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is Lexus in disguise. Alright, welcome Toyota to the channel. We were able to get AMG GTs, but no Corollas until now. Well, this is a Toyota Crown, but yeah, crowning the
crown
channel
jewel
of our channel now. So yeah, welcome. I think this has a pretty good reason why you should maybe, perhaps under circumstances, buy it, and we're going to get into that. But first, let's take a look at the exterior. This is called an oxygen white.
Oxygen is white now. Interesting.
I didn't know oxygen was white, but apparently, listen, it looks white to me. It's just, you know, they could have just called it white, but whatever. I think this is actually pretty sharp looking, this car.
It's not a bad looking car. I get slight Accord vibes from the headlights, but like I know you kind of disagree a little bit.
No, I think you're right, but because I'm going to say the Accord looks very different than other Hondas. I'm going to give Toyota, they'd be like, okay, you got this styling kind of more OG kind of. I like the black and white accent, especially with all our snowflakey, grimy grossness out of Canada on that. 19-inch on the side, on the wheels, and we got some plastic cladding because this is actually a lifted sedan in a way.
Yeah, like, it has a lifted appearance, but we also have like a sport pack type of.
Yeah, it is. It's a very kind of like unique design for a sedan. It is quite different, so entry and exit isn't as cumbersome as in maybe like a Camry or a Lexus or that. But
the slope could have some negatives for the interior, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, and lastly, the back. We got light bar. We got a light bar.
Yeah, we do.
And it says Crown has HEV all-wheel drive. I think that's just.
Listen, it's not going to win any awards for design, but it's not.
Yeah, I think.
It's not bad looking.
Honestly, with the spec and the cream interior, it's quite nice. And before we get into it, this is the Limited, which is the base spec here in Canada, the mid-trim in the US. So you can get more expensive, but I don't think you necessarily should.
I think that's one of the only brands that are Limited's base.
That's true. Usually Limited is like top. Anyhow, let's take a look at the interior.
Yeah, let's go. It's cold out here.
All right, inside the
Toyota.
The Lexus? Yeah, pretty much, eh? The Toyota Crown does look quite nice on the inside, especially in this beige kind of.
Yeah, we were just talking that if you kind of blocked off this Toyota badge here and dropped someone in here, I don't think most people would guess this is a Toyota.
No, like they leathers, far and wide, very plush leather.
This is actually like, feel this is really nice.
Here? Oh yeah, oh
that's great.
That is nice. I love these kind of accents here. It's kind of bronzish a little bit.
Perforated leather seats.
Heated, ventilated, not simultaneously, but pretty good. Heated steering wheel.
There's a lot of, I mean, I could do without this gloss here, but there's a lot of.
But it's not gloss black.
It's not piano black.
Yeah, yeah, it is actually really, really nice. This is like borderline Lexus, I would say. And yeah, I mean, this is our first Toyota, so there's a lot to cover. So let's try to get through this. First of all, this is on the negative. This is noticeably a Japanese car because all the tech is just really convoluted. I appreciate the physical HVAC, first of all, that's great. But if I'm going through my gauge cluster, which funnily enough, it looks from the settings and all that pretty much very close to the Honda gauge cluster, but it's very convoluted. So let's say I want to change the setup. I got to go hold OK, go to settings, then go all the way down, go to meter settings, hold OK, go down, go to meter style, push OK.
Yeah,
and then I can decide between the different styles.
The UX.
Yeah, it's just the UX, and it's funny, all the Japanese brands do that. And okay, Toyota, Mazda, and Subaru, I mean, they're all connected in a way, right? But Nissan's also the same, and it's just kind of interesting. And then they have stuff like, you want to adjust your driving assist? Well, you got LDA, BSM, PCS, BDA, RCTA, RCD, PKSB, SEA, or RSA.
A to Z.
Yeah, and then you want to adjust RCTA. I'm pretty sure that's our blind spot monitoring. No, sorry, which one was it? The PDA.
Yeah, no, BSM is blind spot monitoring.
Oh, sorry, that's the blind spot monitoring, and we have.
I think PDA is pedestrian detection assistant.
No, so this is the one that where it holds like the distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is like you gotta get your manual out, and I'm just like, I don't know. Anyhow, listen, once you set it up, it's set up, it's good, it works. Gauge cluster, not super beautiful, does its job though. Infotainment, I like the integration.
Speaking of gloss black, I guess that's the only place we do have piano black.
Yeah, but at least it's, you know, it's downwards facing, so it doesn't collect all that dust. This Toyota system is like not super feature rich, but it is responsive. I think it looks nice. It's crisp screen. Only complaint I have here, we have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless, great.
Yay.
But there's no like shortcut. So if I'm in my Android Auto, let's say I'm navigating using Google Maps, and I want to control my Sirius XM, right? So to get to that Sirius XM menu without using the buttons here, if I want to go to a different channel that it might not have a preset for, I can't click on like an audio or anything here. I have to go 1, 2, 3.
I'm seeing a trend here.
4, and it's just, yeah. So tech integration, while feature rich, UX needs a little work. For the most part though, I can look beyond this because it is a very comfortable and well thought out interior of a wireless charger that's vertical.
Very deep.
Right here is perfect. And 2 cup holders. Look at the center console.
I love this.
Dual hinged with pass-throughs for cables on both sides. Freaking fantastic. It's comfy. I'm comfy.
We got some cool cameras going on too, don't we?
Oh, yeah. So the 360 camera. So first of all, if you click on view, you'll see it does this weird spinny thing. Very situational. I'm sure there's a use case, but the cooler thing is if your 360 camera, if I'm going to just put it into reverse for a second here, if I'm going to put it into reverse here for a second with our shifter, as soon as we start driving, we get some B-roll for that, the car essentially becomes see-through.
Yeah.
And it fills the whole thing. So it's really nice, especially if you want to place yourself in a parking spot or there's lines somewhere, you can see them clear. That is great. Haven't seen that.
Speaking of the shifter, it's like stop trying to reinvent.
Everyone's different. It's just funny. I don't mind it too much.
You
but
get used to it after a while.
Yeah. No, this is nice though. Will say the heated seats aren't like the crispiest, the hottest, especially after the Explorer, which is just boiling hot.
Yeah, literally burning hot.
Yeah, but this is still okay. Got a big sunroof up top, which doesn't open despite us having this big bar here in the middle. And then if we look towards the back,
that's where we talked about that sloping roof.
It does.
There's a reason why there's black marks on the headrest there, because the headliner, because you're gonna hit your head back there.
Yes, 5'10", 5'7", even like I can sit on the outside seats without trouble. You bump your head though.
I bump my head. The middle seat's an absolute no-go.
Yeah,
like, I had to like turtle shell my head in.
Yeah,
and then,
like even I'm hitting it at 5'7". So there is some compromise. Heated seats on both sides, which is nice. But yeah, just be careful in terms of height. Rear passengers will be kind of compromised. Lastly, trunk, we have over 15 cubic feet of space, which is quite big, and you can put down the second row seats. The pass-through, not the largest, but you can still do it, and the trunk itself is fairly cavernous.
That's bigger than some SUVs.
Yeah, so I'm honestly not complaining. This is a really good start. The only thing that remains is it good out on the road? Let's find out. Welcome to Real Canadian Car Reviews. Here with our Plaid,
Matching, oh yeah.
Acceleration 1, we're gonna go into sport mode. That's eco, go into sport mode. Brake torque, and see how quick this Toyota Crown Limited accelerates.
1, 2.
I mean, that initial startup was not bad. Like the initial go was pretty good.
We're rated at what, 7.1?
7.2 is current driver says 7.2. For this Limited, there is another drivetrain you can get if you go for the higher trim models. You get about 100 extra horses. We have a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline 4, made it to 3 electric motors for a total output of 236 horsepower and an unknown number of torque, because that's a lot of math that nobody was willing to do. So
apparently third time is a charm.
Apparently, hey, you know what? If you need to gun it, like, because you got the motors, the low end torque is actually pretty good. But that's not.
It sounds like a 4-cylinder, but
it does. But I mean, the speed is not why you're gonna go for the Toyota Crown. More so because this is a hybrid, just regular hybrid, no plug-in hybrid, and it gets really good fuel economy. I've been seeing with a lot of traffic, 6, 7, worst case like 8 liters per 100 kilometers. In my trips, that's actually pretty. That's.
I'm sure on the highway you can get like 5.
Oh yeah,
maybe
less.
Yeah.
It's really economical, it's really efficient. We got a CVT, yes, so if
yeah,
still got a bit of that draw.
Don't know if I can ever get used to CVT, but like,
yeah, but and the one thing is, every now and then the engine jumps in, then it turns off, then it jumps back in, and then it turns back off. So there's a little bit of like harshness, less luxuriousness to this, but considering the fuel economy saving you do get, I don't think I'm too concerned by that. But how does it handle? That's the pressing question. Obviously,
is it a good track car?
Yeah, that's the question you have. That's what people know. That's Google #1. Toyota Crown, Nürburgring.
The lifted sedan, just for track use.
Sport mode. Send it in.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's
okay.
Understeer into lift off oversteer.
Yeah, not its intended use.
No, this is about easy, chill driving, and it is pretty easy and chill to drive. But before we get into daily drivability, shall we swap seats?
Swap it up. So for daily drivability, one of the most important things, suspension.
And I think this
Really
rides
good.
really well.
It's actually really
especially
good.
for a sedan. Like, you did notice the drawback of that in the handling test. There's a lot of body roll, and it's
That's because you're not meant to drift this car around corners.
exactly. But I don't want to. No, but honestly, this is so comfortable. I got into this, and I was really surprised by how well this rides, and that actually translates to other daily driving factors like noise levels. This is, despite being on winter tires, it's a windy day, is actually quite the quiet cabin. I really enjoy it. It's actually so quiet that it is a bit of a detriment to itself, because that means you hear that inline
That
four.
lovely inline four.
Yeah, a little more than you would in like a less well-isolated car. But it is noticeably quiet in the city, even out on the highway. While there's some wind noise in the winter here, it is fairly well isolated. It is noticeably quieter than a lot of cars, even a little more expensive than this. How was that brake pedal on the accelerator?
Nice.
Yeah, it's just easy going. It's just an easy going CVT.
I keep waiting for the shift.
There was like 2 more seconds, 2 seconds too long for me for that. It was like, whatever. This is not what people are going to do in this.
I would be curious to drive the upgraded engine though.
Oh yeah, but 330 horses, like another 100 horsepower on top, that probably actually goes pretty well.
Yeah.
At that point, I wonder how that affects fuel economy too. Well, we're going to find out. There's other crowns on the way, including the wagon version, which might be interesting. But lastly, we are at tech. So we do have, well, as we know, lots of different tech features we can set up. The most interesting of those is the active lane centering coupled to cruise control. Works really, really well. Works, the steering wheel detection of your finger is actually great. You can just curl around your little pinky and it will detect. And what's interesting, the first time I've seen that is when you're in traffic, it's stop and go, because it monitors your eyes. If it's stopped and you look out the window to the side, it won't continue going until you start looking ahead again. So it gives you a little prompt, please look ahead. You look ahead, car goes forward again. So that's really interesting. It works really well. Yes, we do prefer systems that are decoupled from cruise control.
I do personally.
But out of the systems that we did test in terms of like hands-on assist, this is probably one of the best. Which leaves us with the pricing. So as spec'd, this mid-trim Toyota Crown clocks in at $47,500 US or 56,600 Canadian.
Which puts it in a really unique spot, I guess.
Yeah, because if we're looking at similar sized, maybe slightly less luxurious sedans, we got the Accord, we got the Camry from Toyota itself. Those clock in at about 10,000 Canadian less. Now, if you want to step up to proper luxury, you're looking at a G70 that's not just poverty spec, or you're looking at a Cadillac CT5, stuff that is nicer but not quite Mercedes level or so, or even Lexus's. You're going to be $10,000 above this. So this might be this kind of that sweet spot for, okay, I'm not quite at Lexus level,
right?
But I graduated from the Camry, where this is noticeably a way nicer cabin, a way nicer driving experience, while still being at a fairly reasonable price. And honestly, I think 56 Canadian, 47 US for this, not bad at all.
And it puts you in a position where you get the luxury feel, but you don't get the luxury tax with premium gas and maintenance.
Yes.
Stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it is true. And it's honestly, I'm really happy with this. I like it more than I thought.
What I will say is where it might fall short for people is the exterior aesthetics. You're definitely not getting that Lexus, Mercedes, even the G70, like that appeal.
Yeah, people will still probably just say, hey, it's just a Toyota.
Right.
I know they're trying to build up this Crown as being like a bit of a mini sub-brand almost, but does not have that badge recognition
and the visual appeal, in my opinion.
And the visual appeal. It's also polarizing in terms of styling with this kind of like lifted sedan thing. I think it comes together very well. I think it works well. I personally like it. But you let us know, what do you think? Would you step up for $10,000 more to the Crown, or do you rather stay with the Camry or the Accord? Let us know, and remember to subscribe and like if you like the video.
Hit the button.
Yes, 100%. And that is the Toyota Crown. Thank you for watching this video on JC Cars. Pure testosterone! Oh! What the f is is this piece of shit?
If you guys like the video, don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe.
Should I just drive into a tree now, or?
And we'll see you next Friday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern for a whole lot more fun. Bye-bye.